So I have with me Dennis White. Dennis is on our health and lifestyle channel, but the reason why I'm doing this interview on BWTM Sports rather than BWTM Online, which has got our health and lifestyle channel and is also part of the Master of the Universe series, which we're really glad to have Dennis a part of, is that Dennis also has a background in martial arts. I'll let Dennis explain more. So Dennis, we were talking about your background in martial arts, and I said you look like a particular boxer. I said you look so much like this boxer when I look at you, and I said the name Nigel Benn. And then you said, it's funny you should say that, but...
Anyway, before I answer, hello everybody, good to see you. Yes, over the process of time I've had many people approach me that I look similar to a certain boxer called Nigel Benn and Eubanks in the past, so I've always had that sort of attachment with me anyway. So obviously I did do a lot of work with Nigel in the early 90s. We trained a lot in Central Pub in East End with his coach Brian Lynch, and that was for about 3 years. Phenomenal guy, phenomenal character, lots of energy, buzzing with energy, and he was powerful, charismatic as well.
So the time you knew Nigel, in terms of a time frame, when was it? Was it as he just turned pro? Was it before he was pro? Or would you said it was, you know, mid part of his career?
Funny enough, it was just when he was turning pro. I was actually going to have a little bout with him as well at the time. I was going to have an actual bout with him because it was scheduled for me to have a bout with Nigel. And then we met in a pub on the off chance for some reason. I was there and he was there. This was in, I think it was in Ilford going back. Then I said to him, you know, we're supposed to have a bout coming up soon. And we just got on. We got on. What
sort of a bout was it? Was it a boxing bout or?
No, this was a kickboxing fight.
Oh,
yeah.
So what were you doing at the time when you? What were you doing at the time? Because obviously he was going to have a bout with you. What were you doing?
Well, I was socialising with my teacher at that time. Yeah. And my teacher knew Nigel as well. You see, and so we just met in the pub, socialising. Nigel just so happened to be there in Ilford, you know, because that's where he was from. And it just so happened that he was there and I was here, and you know, I've seen him around, met up, you know, I've just seen him on TV and things like that through the amateur days, so I was aware of him, and so it just so happened that we just met at the same time, you know, and that's how it happened.
So let's talk a little bit about your own background before we talk more about how, you know, yourself and Ben. Let's talk about your background. What were you doing in martial arts? What did you do? What did you achieve in martial arts?
Well, I wanted to be like Bruce Lee. You know, that was my idol. That was like day and night, live it, sleep it, drink it, you know. And, you know, I trained solidly for years to get that body toned up. And, you know, so I learnt some Shaolin Kung Fu with David Lee. He went off to do some stunt work in Hollywood. And I travelled to Malaysia in 1985, met up with my Sigon, my grandfather as they call it. Because I've done a particular style called Hungar. It's a Chinese style of Shaolin. And then from there I just went on to different avenues of fighting, of Wing Chun, and then some boxing, done some kickboxing, done a little bit of Thai boxing, and that sort of took me to Florida and various places, Ireland, you know, where I've done some boxing as well.
So, in terms of your own career, what did you do with your career as a martial artist? Did you take part in any competitions? Did you fight? Did you compete? What did you do?
Well, you know, I was quite energetic when I was young. I had all the time in the world. So, yes, we competed a lot in CKO. We went over to Florida in 1987. We were sponsored to go to the American team. And it was a big international fight. There was Bob Wall there, the main character, one of the main characters from Into the Dragon. You know, the one with the scar on his face there, he was there. Wow. Whitney Houston was there. She was doing like a singing contest. There was a conference there for her as well. So that was a big event.
Wow.
And, but there was a lot riding on my shoulders that day. And it was a 5-man team. Everybody won apart from me. and but it was an experience. I enjoyed it. You know, I got beaten by a better guy on a better day, and you know, I just carried on from there. You know, just carried on my journey all the time, learning. One door closes, another one opens.
So you were captain of the England team. Well, you must have been able to fight a bit to be captain. Nobody gets just captain of England team to go and represent England if you can't fight. You must have been able to fight a lick. You must be able to fight, right?
Well, I'm not blowing my own trumpet.
You obviously could fight a bit. I mean, come on.
Well, yeah, but you know, you just enjoy what you do. You know, I just enjoy doing it. I wanted to emulate my hero, Bruce Lee. I wanted to be like him. Or the black figure Bruce Lee.
Yes.
That's what I wanted to be. And so I just enjoyed it, and I just enjoyed hurting people.
Like Nigel! Nigel like hurting people! What was it about, back then, what was it about hurting people that you enjoyed?
You wanted to be number one. That was the main aim. You wanted to be number one, you just wanted to be on the top. You know, you wanted to be number one. And that's how it was. That's why me and Nigel hit it on.
So when you actually met Nigel, I'm trying to imagine this now, you meeting Nigel, I mean, you're feeling like you're number one, he's feeling like he's number one. Sure, that would have been a clash of, it would have been a good old scrap, as Nigel would have said.
It was. It was a good scrap. A hell of a scrap. The first time I sparred with him, wow, that was like Star Wars. You know, he knocked the living daylights out of me, and I thought my boxing was good at that time as well.
Yeah.
And wow, the intensity was phenomenal what he was doing, and I just had to go back to what I know. You know, and he was knocking the living daylights out of me. My head was going to roll off my shoulders.
How hard a puncher was Nigel? Because everyone says he's a quite a big puncher. Was he? Those who feel know.
Hurts. It's hurt. He's like a mini Tyson, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's like a mini Tyson. So, you know, but I just stick to my guns. I just went back to what I know, and you know, they don't allow it in boxing. But you know, I come from martial arts, so he just come and in with the elbows, and his coach said, "Stop there." I said, "Where did you learn all that from?" And me and Nigel just hooked together, you know, because he knew I was serious about my training. I don't muck around. I just go in, focus 150%, just dedicate myself. Me and Nigel help each other out. You know, he helped me to develop my boxing. I helped him with his sparring. You know, we helped sparring. We used to spar hard. There was no Mickey Mouse playing around. Bang, straight in. You know, and Nigel liked that. You know, he liked that challenge. He challenged me and I challenged him. We just got on well. You know, so that's what draws you up another level.
Iron sharpening iron.
Yeah, you know, it's like two warriors getting together. You develop together. That's the way how I look at it in a way.
So wait, Nigel beat you up the first time, right? And then you, how about the whole respect level? How does that change? Because some guys, when they beat guys up and they do, beat you up. What's the point of sparring you again, mate? Why did you guys continue? What was it that kept you and Nigel working together for so long?
It's your ego, isn't it? Your ego. But if you want to aspire to be good or develop your tool or your trade, you have to take it to the highest level, regardless of what's in front of you. You have to. You know, if I'm kickboxing, someone's looking good. Like, for instance, I went to Leicester many years ago with my teacher, and I had a supposedly ordinary kickboxing bout what was scheduled for me, and there were some Dutch fighters that came over from Holland, Thai boxers that came, and there was some discrepancy to do with the weight. And funny enough, the promoter come to me and my teacher, because the discrepancy of these two fighters that couldn't get it on with the weight, and the promoter come up to me and said to me, to my teacher Dave, would your boy be keen to fight a Thai boxer? Just like that. I mean, I didn't train for it. So my teacher said, well, it's up to you. But the funny thing was, at that particular time, I'd done a convention with Danny Santo that came over in 1985. That was about that time. Come over, done some seminars, and he covered some Thai boxing. He covered some Thai boxing, and I'd done a little bit with Master Skin at the time as well from Manchester. So they said to me, "We give you an hour to think about it." And my teacher didn't put no pressure on me. So they come back after an hour and they said, "Well, you know, is the boy willing to..." Because I was making a name for myself. What it was, I was making a name for myself in kickboxing. And so I just replied, in order to be the best, you have to beat the best. I took it on. Over 5 rounds, I won on points. But after that fight, I could not walk. And I learned a different aspect. And I learned more try to work the way they work the leg. Wow, powerful. I just took that on board as well. Had some friends of mine, Nigel Benn, done some Wing Chun, and gave me some medicine to strengthen my legs. Just adapted it, you know. So just whatever's confronting in front of me, take it on board, deal with it, bang.
The world has evolved since just boxing. Now we have UFC. What are your thoughts on UFC, and how would Bruce Lee have done in UFC?
How would Bruce Lee would have done? That's a tough question. He's really the forerunner of it, isn't he? Most of his ideas come from that.
Yeah.
Just taking that on board. But how he would have done it, I wouldn't know. You know, I think he would have done exceptionally well, because he was a very powerful man ahead of his game. He was always evolving, you know, to be more supreme, more fast and more powerful. Whatever challenges what will probably be put in front of him, I'm sure he would have just dealt with it. He was ahead of his game. He was ahead of his game, you know. But I don't really watch that much UFC, but it's come a long way.
Yeah.
It's come a long way. Obviously, there are certain factors that can portray it a little bit better, and you know, if it had more televised time and how they'll get around to doing all that and make it more in a gentle fashion, it would be ideal to sort of, you know, see it more on primetime TV. You know.
How much of Bruce Lee is the actor, and how much of Bruce Lee is the fighter? Because people say Bruce Lee the actor and Bruce Lee the fighter are two totally things. Because obviously Bruce Lee the Hollywood actor, obviously it's got a lot of Hollywood to it, and then Bruce Lee the fighter. Can you tell the difference between the fighter and the Hollywood? Example. Explain.
Well, from what his students have told me, because I've been in calls with Danny Nassau and some of his students, Larry Hartsell and things like that, and Bruce Lee's approach to a fight would really be a no-nonsense approach. Why kick someone in the head when you can just bang, give them a shin kick to the legs and just take the leg away? But you know, obviously, throwing the kick to the head is much more
Dramatic,
visual. You see, so you know you got that's enough. In with the elbow. It's not really spectacular enough, you know. But the kicks and the high kicks and what catches the eye is a little bit more fancy. So that draws the attention in, you know. And it looks spectacular because they have to sell the product, don't they?
Yeah, I used to see him going to all these. He used to go into these like martial arts schools and beat everybody up in the school. I mean, what kind of a school is where this one man comes and beats everybody up in the school, including the master himself?
No, you're talking about Fist of Fury.
I'm wondering. I get mad. I walk up to my local martial arts centre and go try and beat up everybody in the school. You never got overpowered. You beat everybody up. Was that Hollywood? Would you say that's Hollywood?
Definitely.
Definitely.
That was a lot of it. A lot of that was his idea as well. You know, a lot of that. But you know, it's a film, isn't it? You know, it's entertainment.
Yeah, but people take that same Bruce Lee and think he would beat everybody. Oh, you know, Bruce Lee would have beaten Mike Tyson. Bruce Lee would have beaten Hulk Hogan. Bruce Lee would have beaten this person. Bruce Lee would have beaten that person. So the lines between...
It's the dynamics of Bruce Lee, you know. He just captures everyone. No one, you know, his physique at that time and the way he moved, he was so fast and powerful, and he was charismatic as well.
Yeah.
You know, he just brought something alive to the screen, you know, and everyone just got drawn to him, you know, especially for a Chinese man, you know. And he was really kind of trying to project Chinese people or the culture in a different light, you know, in terms of how they they were normally are. Cause
perceived.
People, people think of them as like races and long hair, and he didn't like that. He had a lot of barriers what he had to try and overcome, especially in Hollywood. So, he was always driving and driven to portray Chinese people in a different element.
Let's go back to your own martial arts career. So apart from being in the UK, you talked about going abroad as well and learning. What was the difference between training here in the UK and going abroad and training? What was the major factor for yourself that you found?
It was like kind of being connected to the source.
Right.
That's what, when I was back, when was that, 85 when I first went away to Malaysia, and that was an 18-hour flight. Wow. And, but it was like, this is where it all stems from. It's like the seed, you're kind of going back to the roots. So that's what it kind of, intimidating as well, because that was my first time abroad as well. That was intimidating. So, but no, it was a great experience. And, it's just like being in the film.
Wow.
Just like being in the film, and that's what I looked around and thought, wow, this is good. Wow. But now it's phenomenal.
So when you take that knowledge you had then, from the UK, not travelling abroad, and then you go abroad, obviously you then took your skills abroad. When you first used those skills that you had from the UK and put it to the test against somebody from another world, what happened? What did you first notice? Did you feel you come up short? Did you feel did you feel exposed? Were you caught up so much in the respect of where you were that you weren't able to move the way you wanted to move, or were you even more fiercely determined?
I'm always determined. Always determined. No, I just prepare as best as I can, because anyone that's in front of you is always a barrier. So that's the way you kind of got to look at it, regardless of what race or who he is. He's just an obstacle you just got to overcome. So in terms of training or when you're fighting in martial arts, you're gonna get barriers all the time. One wall, another wall, knock down one wall, another wall comes, and it's going to appear in front of you. So you just got to prepare yourself as best as you can all the time. If you're in that sort of mindset in terms of martial arts and training and things like that, boxing.
What was your best memory working with Nigel Benn?
How hard the training was. The training was hard.
Yeah.
The training was extremely hard, tough.
If you could see Nigel today, if Nigel was watching this now, what would you say to Nigel?
We should meet up. I miss him actually. The last time I see Nigel was when he fought Watson.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. I would love to see him. I'd love to give him a little dig. He was fun. He was cool. He was cool. We done well. We done well. No, I do miss him. Hopefully if there's a Eubanks Ben 3 can help you, Nigel. Make it quicker, faster. It's good.
Thank you, Dennis.
God bless you.